This is a reading of Christ and His Bride, an exposition of the Song of Solomon by Cora Harris McElravy, published by El Bethel Christian Works, copyright 1916, read by Veronica King. Chapter 5, Longing for Communion with the Bridegroom, Chapter 1, verses 7 and 8. Chapter 1, verse 7, quote, "Tell me, O thou whom my soul loveth, where thou feedest thy flock, where thou makest it to rest at noon." As she remembers the scorching sun and the yoke of bondage which was upon her, and how he has broken the bars of the yoke that she may walk upright, she longs to find that rest beside still waters, which he has provided for those who believe and obey. As she meditates upon his drawing and recalls the chambers into which she has already entered, and that which she has already received, her desire for his presence and for divine fellowship increases. Her love goes out with more fervor, and there is deeper intensity in her prayer that she may know where to find him. He has kept himself hidden away from her vision, although she can speak to him and knows that he hears. But she longs to behold him. She longs to draw nearer. She has not had the revelation of him which, as the bride, she will have later. But God is putting within her the preparation and reaching out for this. With him who follows on unto the full fruition of God's plan, this love and desire toward Jesus Christ begins when he is a babe in the Lord, an increase to the full midday of revelation and entering in at his second coming. She is one of the virgins who will make up the bride of Christ, but she no longer speaks of the virgins who love him. The time is past when she speaks of the bride impersonally. She can only feel the love that fills her own heart, and to her it is as though she were the only one who loves him. Is it not so? How our souls go out to our precious Lord when we have drawn nearer to him. It seems that he is ours alone, that we alone belong to him. It is as though there were none other in the bride, as far as the longing and love which we feel toward him are concerned. Now the cry of our hearts is, "O thou whom my soul loveth." All that the world or any creature can give is as ashes to that hungry soul who is longing for a revelation of her Lord. Nothing else can satisfy. Nothing else can bring peace and joy. All other love is as husks to the love and companionship of God, and to the love which he draws from the heart that is yielded to him. Truly has his name become to the bride as oil poured forth, and her hunger for divine fellowship and communion has increased, so that she longs to be fed by him and him alone. She would know where he is feeding his flock, that she may join that company which is close to him, and by faith behold him all the time. It was that fervent love and abandonment that caused the bride to cry out, "I have suffered the loss of all things that I may know Christ, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his sufferings, becoming conformed unto his death." And as this virgin neared the end, and the time of his departure came, he exultantly cried, "I have fought the good fight, I have finished the course, I have kept the faith." It was this fervent love and longing in the breast of one of the virgins of the bride of the Lamb, which made her hasten, while it was yet dark, to go to his tomb. And when she found his body gone, she went and told Peter and John. Her heart was filled with love and anguish as she stood without the sepulchre waiting. She remembered how tenderly Jesus had defended and protected her when Simon stood by, scorning her, not only because she had been a sinner, but because she was a woman, despising her Lord because he let her approach him, because he let her wet his feet with her tears and wipe them with the hairs of her head, because he let her kiss and anoint them. To her Jesus had forgiven much. To him had her love gone out in consuming fervor. And when the Lord appeared to her outside the tomb, and she mistook him for the gardener, it was this fervent love that made her say, "Sir, if thou hast borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away." She did not remember that she was but a weak, despised woman. She did not stop to think whether she had strength to carry away his body or not. Her love was so great that, though mountains stood between her and her Lord, she would have tried to brush them aside that she might come unto him and bear away that precious body, pierced and bleeding, the body of him who had spoken peace to her soul and brought her purity and heaven. Jesus knew the love in her heart, and it was to her he entrusted the first message to the brethren announcing his resurrection. He could have sent this message by Peter or John, for while Mary Magdalene was standing outside the sepulchre, they were near by, looking into the empty tomb. It was not to them he first appeared, but to this despised woman, who loved much because she had been forgiven much. It was not by the great apostle Peter, nor by that apostle whom Jesus loved, that he sent to the brethren this first message of the gospel and of his finished work on Calvary. He sent it by this woman who loved much, this despised one who through the darkness came first to the tomb, and who was the first to find he had risen, and who announced it to Peter and John. It was to this one whose heart's cry was, O thou whom my soul loveth. How puny, how weak, how miserable at best is our love for our dear Lord. Oh, that he would melt us down, that we might cry to him with a voice that would go right up into his heart. O thou whom my soul loveth, tell me where thou art feeding thy flock, that I may ever keep step with thee, and not be lingering over food that is dried, withered, and untimely, even though it may once have been fresh. Guide me that I may walk in every ray of light and continually feed upon thee, who art the bread of life. Feed in trial and perplexity, in temptation and difficulty, that from thee, who art my strength and my Redeemer, I may get the uplifting power for everything that comes into my life. Quote, tell me where thou feedest thy flock, is the fervent cry of the heart of the bride. Her hunger and desire for him have increased as she searches for and follows after him. He has not yet made himself manifest to her. She talks with him, but she cannot find him. There is a veil between them. She cannot lay hold upon him, nor does she seem to be able to overtake him. At times she hears his voice, although she does most of the talking. She goes forward, but he is not there, and backward, but she cannot perceive him. On the left hand, when he doth work, but she cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that she cannot see him. Job 23, 8 and 9. Yet she hears him whisper, Ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search after me with all your heart. It is a wonderful supernatural intercourse that the bride holds with her beloved Lord. He unseen, yet hearing and speaking. Even the weakest child of God can walk with Christ, and though he may hardly know the Lord's voice, the Lord hears his cry and answers. Some of the greatest things that come into our lives come through our weakest cries, not weak from negligence, but because of our inability to do anything ourselves. He knows the way each one takes. He knows every heart cry that goes out to him. As we see others getting closer to him and into a higher place than we are in, and we cry that he will bring us there too, he knows it all because he puts it all within us. It is not to the half-hearted that our precious Lord reveals himself in sweet intimacy. It is when we seek after him with all our hearts that we find him. It is not they who follow in an intermittent way that find him, but he finally reveals himself to those who press on with unwavering love and determination, to those who obey, though it seems to lead to a greater separation from him. The bride prays that he will open up to her the treasures of his word, that he will teach her to feed upon the hidden manna. How her words reveal her helplessness to feed herself or find the place where he is feeding his flock. She would have him not only lead her in the green pastures of his word, she would not only feed in the company which is nearest him, but she would be so close to him that every moment her eyes may rest upon him, so that when she has fed to the full and lies down to rest, he would be near her and fill her vision. It is when the flock has fed to the full that they lie down, but the shepherd is with them all the time. Thus would she have it continually in her life. When we feed upon the living word and upon the written word, so that faith has arisen in our hearts, we can lie down upon the word in rest and confidence, knowing we are in the pasture of the great shepherd. As we lie down upon the promises of God and hide away and feed upon him who is the bread of life, we shall find peace and rest to our souls. She would feed in the green pastures, not only in the cool of the morn, and at eve when the dew is upon the grass, but she longs for the rest that abides even in the hottest hour of the day, when the sun is beating down and there is no breeze stirring. She would be so nourished and built up by heavenly manna that the heat cannot make her faint, nor the storms dismay and make her afraid. There is a relation that we can have with our Lord, in which we are hidden away and draw upon him for all enabling and for strength in every time of need. Not only this, there is a relation where he will cause us to lie down and rest when all is turmoil about us. Even in the worst testings and the hardest things that can come upon us, he is able to make us rest beside still waters. Though the sun's rays are hot, and in ourselves we would be overcome, he will hush our fears and cause us to rest. He will spread his wings over us, and in its shadow we shall rest. In the covert of his presence will he hide us from the plottings of men. He will keep us secretly in his pavilion from the strife of tongues, for he is our keeper. He is our shade upon our right hand. The sun shall not smite us by day, nor the moon by night. He will keep our going out and our coming in. He will keep us from all evil, for he neither slumbers nor sleeps. It is a good thing for us to lie down upon the word and let God bring back to us what we have heard. When we have fed as much as he wants us to, he makes us know that he would have us lie down and chew the cud of rich food which he has helped us gather. When he takes one portion away, some other comes, and many times he brings the same word to us over and over, and each time we get more nourishment from it than we did the first time we meditated upon it. It is very significant that the word meditate means, quote, to chew the cud, to talk to one's self, to ruminate. The smallest light I get out of any part of the Word of God is that when I receive the first time, I come to it in meditation, and every time I come to it afterward, I receive more and more light. God will open up a portion of His Word and give such sweet nourishment, and perhaps remind us of some other green pastures through which we passed on our way to the one we are in now. Then He will lead us through that again, always giving in great abundance to the soul that will follow Him and feed where He leads and directs.